Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's take a walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Guys, today's beer comes from Pariah Brewing Company. These guys are out in San Diego. This is their refill material. And guys, I did this about a year ago, last August I think. And they had just started sending me beers at that time. And they don't have to do that, guys. I didn't contact them and ask them for beers, but they sent them to me, and I think these guys do an outstanding job as far as producing beers and packaging beers and labeling the package with all the information craft beer drinkers and buyers want to see, with the canned on date and the ingredients and the ABV and the IBUs. They're not secretive about anything. So all you people that are in the San Diego area, go by and support Brian and Krista. They are awesome people. They used to contact me and say, we're going to send you something or send a letter with it. Now the beers just show up, and guys, I appreciate it. Y'all don't have to do this. And they sent me this one, and they sent me another one, Smilex, that I've done about 5 months ago or so, and I'm gonna review it, guys. They don't have to send me these beers, so and they're damn tasty beers on top of that, so I'm gonna probably review that one tomorrow. And they sent them to me awesomely fresh. I got this beer this week. It showed up Wednesday or so, and it says here it was packaged on July 26th, last week. And they sent it to me. It took a couple days for it to get here, so the day it come off the canning line, they probably stuffed it in the box or the next day and sent it to me. Awesome. Like I said, Brian and Krista, I appreciate it. Y'all do make some awesome beers, and I hope everybody out there in San Diego is supporting you. If I was there, I would be, or if you were here, I would be. So right on here, it's got a description here on the back, hazy IPA. I'm not going to read that one to you. Hop, Citra, Mosaic, Columbus, Moss, two-row oats, Maris Otter, 6% alcohol by volume, 36 IBUs, drink within 60 days of date code. So they want you to have it in the first 60 days, not 3 months, 4 months, 6 months like a lot of the breweries do. So, like I said, dates on the bottom, information's on the can, IBU's on the can, ABB's on the, everything is on the can. These guys do it the way everybody should be doing it. And you guys that are not doing it like that, you suck. I'm just going to be blunt as I can about it. Put all this information on your package. Step up to the plate. Be a man about it. Tell us what we want to know. And instead of putting some best before or best after or used by or whatever by and being secretive about the IBUs or the ABV or whatever. Give us the information that's available. Now the IBUs aren't super critical on different hopping techniques, but even breweries like Treehouse, I fussed about this the other day. I'm not putting their ABV on their cans. They're not going to get a 10 from me anymore unless they do that. Nobody is. If you don't tell me what the ABV is on it, and at least the vintage or the canned or bottled on date, depending on the style of the beer, you're not going to get a 10. I don't give a damn if it's a 10 beer. You're not going to get it from me. So give us that information if you want that grain. Otherwise, you'll get an A or less. So with that being said, we're going to get on with this one. I enjoyed this last time they sent it to me. But this is a 6%er, guys. I don't buy a lot of 6%ers. Most of the stuff that I purchase for go-to beers are at least 7% and above. So it's getting pretty close to the sessionable range or the low ABV. But it is 6%, not a 5. So still, I thought it was an enjoyable beer, and I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be again. So let me jump over to Untappd. We've already gone over all the information. And I got a feeling, and it does say the exact same thing on Untappd that it says on the can, and I'm going to read it. In looking at our beer lineup, we felt there was missing an IPA solely designed for San Diego living. With that in mind, the hop to highlight was kind of a no-brainer. Citra, we chose to counterbalance the Citra with Ever Awesome Mosaic and Columbus, wafting with some aromas and subsequent flavors of grapefruit, melon, lime, passion fruit, lychee with lurking, earthy, and piney notes. This beer is ideal for a refill or two at a modest yet respectable 6%, and that's what they're shooting for on this beer. They're not producing a 7, 8, 9, 10% beer. In case you want to have a couple of them. So this would be the one you would choose if you wanted to have more than one. And it's not down to the 4% or the 5%. It's going to have a respectable alcohol, but not over the top for somebody that wants to have multiples. So it fits in between there. It fits that niche there. If you're not wanting an imperial or a double IPA, but you're wanting something more than a session IPA at a 4 or 5%. So well done. 36 IBUs and sporting a soft mouthfeel. This is Ode to Forever Summer, is a straight up crusher. So we've gone over everything, so let's get it out of the can and get it into the glass. What do you think? Big 16-ounce can. Probably won't get it all in here on the initial pour, but we will. Very hazy coming out of the can, guys. Looks like grapefruit juice. I can smell it from here. I'm already getting the aromas. Wow. About a finger of head on that pour. A light orange juice color. Maybe half orange juice and half grapefruit juice. And it's not the deep orange juice color. Looked like grapefruit juice coming out. And then basically that's what it looks like to me. Very hazy. Very cloudy. Definitely an unfiltered beer, I would say. To the nose we go. Wow. The hop aroma for a 6%er is off the chain, guys. This is definitely in the New England style to me, or a northeastern style, whatever you want to call it. They're saying they designed it for the San Diego living. So there's evidently a lot of people in San Diego that like this style of beer too. So, and I'm in that crowd. I do like this style of beer. It has ruined my palate. I used to think West Coast style was the top of the line, man. But this actually blows them away a little bit. But they're in San Diego, so this is the West Coast, yeah. So, awesome. Orange, pineapple, melon, grapefruit, pine. Wow. Outstanding aroma, guys. Outstanding for a 6%er. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Brian and Krista. Thank you both. Y'all are awesome. Very easy drinking, not bitter at all. 36 IBUs. That's into the pale ale category, guys. A great beer to transition you over into something that's maybe a little hazy, a little cloudy, and not have the 70 or plus IBUs. It's going to be too bitter for your palate. Good transitional beer to get you into something, into this style. Very well. Very well done. Guys, you know, as far as the taste, it tastes like a 7 to 8%er to me. It's got all of that body to it. Usually in the 5%ers, the session beers, even in the IPAs, they're so thin and watery. I can taste that it is a session beer, session ale. This one has a whole lot going for it, even though it's a 6%er. So let's get the back end pour here, and I'm going to sip on this puppy for a while, and I'm real impressed with what they do out there at Pariah Brewing. So don't think they make a bad beer. Don't think I've received a bad beer from them or mediocre beer. Everything they produce is top notch. So this is no exception. So I'm gonna sip on this, and we'll come back and give it a grade. All right, guys, I'm back. Got a little left here. Been sitting on it about 45 minutes. I have people ask me all the time, what temperature do you drink your beers? Well, I start them all, every one of them, off right out of the fridge. And then I always let all of them, no matter whether it's an IPA, double IPA, a stout, porter, barley wine, whatever, come up to room temperature by the time I come back for the final chug here. So I can taste what it tastes like cold, what it tastes like at 60, 70 degrees. And if I'm setting out on the deck this time of the year where it's close to 90, it's going to be a lot warmer than room temperature when I come back to the final chug. So I'm tasting it at all aspects, all temperature ranges from 40 degrees up to 90 degrees. So if you're wondering what temperature I drink the beer at, I drink it at all temperatures, from 40 up to 90. Usually, especially when I'm doing it this time of the year, here in August, it's close to 90 degrees outside, and I've been outside 45 minutes or so sipping on this one. So it's definitely probably above 70 degrees, probably closer to 80 degrees, because the glass is not chilled. I don't chill any glasses for the beer reviews. The glasses are room temperature 70, 75. Room temperature in here is 78 degrees. So that's what the glass is when I pour the beer in there. So it is what it is. I tried to taste all aspects of the beer from 40 degrees up to whatever the temperature is outside. Of course, if it's 40 degrees outside in December or January, and if I'm going outside, a lot of times I do not, it's not coming up to room temperature, so a lot of times I'll drink it inside, so it'll come up to room temperature before I come give you the final chug. So, with that being said, this is a great 6%er, guys. It's not a 7, 8, 9, 10 or above beer. It is a good transitional beer to get you into an IPA that has low IBUs, nice and easy drinking, very sweet or not bitter. So it's not going to blow your palate out of your mouth. If you're a macro lager drinker, Bud, Miller, Coors, or whatever, it's going to be a little easier to drink. So support these guys. The independent craft brewers are trying to accommodate everybody, whether it's a 4% or a 20%. Wherever your palate is and what you like to drink, they try to produce something usually to meet your needs. And the guys here at Pariah is no exception. They make some outstanding beers, and this is, again, no exception. For a 6%er, which is below what I would typically buy for myself or go-to beer, this has a lot of taste and flavor, and I would buy this beer. And that's the biggest recommendation I can tell you that I can give a beer, guys. No matter what my grade is, if I tell you I would buy it, that means I would spend my money on it, and you probably should too. So, but just my opinion though, guys. These guys package a beer very well with all the information we want. So, no matter whether it's a 6%er or a 10%er, they give us all the information. Final chug. I can't stress enough that we need to support these small independent craft breweries, especially ones like this that are giving us all that information and that are producing outstanding beers. This one is probably an outstanding beer for a transitional beer. Something in a 6% range. It's not going to be too heavy in the alcohol. So, not something that I would typically buy, but if this one was available here, I probably would, because it has all the flavor and the taste that I'm looking for in this style of beer. So that gives me a chance, if I'm going to do 2 beers or maybe even 3 beers a day at the max. I can have maybe one of these and maybe a 7 or 8 percenter, and then I can have maybe a 9 or 10 percenter for the final beer of the evening. So I'm not drinking 3 9s or 3 10 percenters where I'm going to be inebriated in there, and all those calories are just adding up. So still on my diet, still working on that. So still limited to how many that I can have a day. So guys, this is an A beer to me. I'm going to give this a 98. And if you say it's a 10 beer, I would not argue with that. It is absolutely an outstanding beer. But being a 6 percenter, not something that I typically purchase. But again, I would buy this beer because it doesn't taste like a 6 percenter. It doesn't drink like a 6 percenter. It's got all, it's not watery or thin, is where I'm going. It has all of the tastes and aromas that you're going to get from a 7 or 8 percenter, maybe even a 9 percenter. And the body is not super thin or watery to me. So, very well done. Over to Beer Advocate, they went back to, at one time, if they didn't have at least 5 ratings or 10 ratings, they wouldn't produce a score. Then they went away from that. And even if they had one person commenting, they would give the score. Now they've gone back to not doing that. I don't understand why. Because they've got 1, 2, 3. They've got 3 people commenting on it, and they say there's no score. Well, what the frick? There ought to be a score. There's 3 people commented on it, so they've gone back to doing that silly crap. So they're out of the game on this. So from here on out, when I see BA score, I'm not even going to mention Beer Advocate anymore. If they can't give me a score on 3 people giving a comment, you're out of the game. You're out of here. Hit the dugout. You're ejected. So over to Untapped. They have it at 3.8, which is their B+. It's much better than that, guys. It is. If you think this beer is a B or B+ beer, you bought the wrong freaking beer. You're probably a macro lager drinker and don't like hazy, cloudy, unfiltered beers. So I don't know what they're after here if this does not bum mine. And a lot of the seasoned craft beer drinkers that are used to drinking 7, 8, 9 percenters, when they see a 6 percenter, oh, this is not going to do it for me. Taste it. Give it a whirl. It probably will. It did for me. So, and plus all the information they're giving us on the can goes a long way with me. That's just me. That's just my opinion. When I get all that information, that means they're trying to give us all the information we need to buy a beer, to drink a beer, to know what beer we're drinking. So, wonderful beer, outstanding beer. So, I could just easily give this a 10+ beer, guys. It absolutely is for a transitional 6 percenter. So, with that being said, if you've had the refill material from Pariah Brewing Company, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.